Love a blooper.
Yeah.
I've been running.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys came and that we have this time that we can talk together. I wanted to know if you could share a tip, a fear, some kind of funny story or anything in particular from when you guys became a mom.
Yeah, there
A lot.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint one.
But the biggest thing was having Emily with me through so much, because we had no idea when we were first starting, and we were talking about a lot too, that finding that community of like more seasoned moms to give us like advice and stuff would have been nice to have.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's moments where like you're changing diapers and you're running around with bottles and like
we were kind of muddling through because we didn't have any guidance.
Right.
And you know, there's plenty that you can read on the internet.
Right.
Your pediatrician, your OB, they do what they can. Your doula, but you know, there is just some that you gain through experience and just chit chat.
Absolutely.
I would say that, you know, we've learned the most from each other and from just spending time with other moms. When you have those moments where, you know, there were a couple of times where I would walk into Brittany's, I would seem composed, and then she would be like, "Hi, how are you?" And I would just start sobbing.
Yeah.
Because it had been a hard morning.
Right. And that's not something you can get on the internet when you're searching.
No.
So it's that personal connection. And I think you and I were talking about how like when I became a mom, like the internet almost didn't exist, which is weird because, you know, that's like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But like, you know, we had to talk to each other. So I feel like even though there's more information available, so you can watch so many like videos and find a lot of free information, but it doesn't mean that moms feel more prepared.
Right.
I mean, it almost hasn't really had that effect to like, it's not empowering.
Yeah.
And the connection is huge, like talking face to face and being able to release those emotions with somebody else is healing. And you have somebody understanding because you're in the same season of life, stay in the same clique all the time. You don't get different information from different spots and resources and stuff like that. So.
And the cool thing about a mom's group, is that you do have some seasoned moms, you have some newbie moms. So you're hearing all kinds of things, and we're all different people, and that personality, the difference in personalities comes out in the way that we mother too, right?
Yes.
But so I guess the tip is to talk, to surround yourself with people that you can talk to and kind of be ugly or gushy even. Like, you know, we did all these things and it was such a great weekend, and sharing that joy with your friends too, not just the hard stuff, but
that's something that I love too, is because I would never know of certain like little events to do or like activities. I'd always see one of your friends post something, I don't know, they went somewhere and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do that too.
For sure.
But I wouldn't have known about
different parks.
Yeah, different parks and like, the secret park.
The secret park in Marymount, yeah, for sure.
So you guys talk about the whole postpartum experience. What do you mean by that? What was like your postpartum experience?
Yeah, this is something that's really important to us, and we feel like we need to really stress this, is that we, through Nurtur, don't want to limit ourselves to one aspect of this postpartum phase of life. We really want to take in the whole experience, because different moms have different experiences. You know, some might be experiencing depression. Some might be experiencing anxiety. Some might be loving every second of every day. Or maybe it's just harder than they expected. I think you're hearing that a lot. You know, and that's part of the problem with, you know, misinformation or not having information, is you might have this idea of what motherhood is going to be like, and then it's something completely different. Or maybe you're feeling all of these things in one day or 1 hour. So we want to make sure that all of those things
we're encompassing everything,
are a part of what we're talking about.
Well, and there's so much with postpartum too. It's not just mental health. I mean, you have to be like taking care of yourself and putting yourself in a different, it goes beyond just that.
It does.
It's
well, and your
so much
postpartum
more.
like experience was different because you had babies that came early, right?
George and Harper were preemies. They were born at 26 weeks, so we spent 3 months in the NICU. And that was really hard too, mostly because a lot of my friends were also having kids at the same time, so I couldn't like fully express what was going on in fear of like scaring others.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice to have a group of people to kind of rely on, to hang out with, to talk to. And because of starting Nurtured and opening up more about my NICU experience, I've had more moms reach out to me recently, asking about like our experience and how long it's taken me to get to the place where I'm at now. And I'm honest, like it's 5 years and still like their day of birth kind of rocks me a little bit, you know, because it's supposed to be a day of like celebration, but then you're like kind of also mourning the experience that wasn't what you thought it was gonna be. So
absolutely.
But that's, I mean, it's huge, and the more that I've been putting myself out there and talking more about postpartum and my experience, I've learned that so many other moms are able to open up and share about what they went through, and it's healing on both sides, you know, like for everybody. Sharing is totally healing. It makes you feel so much. I mean, how do you feel after you go out with the girls for a night? You know?
So much better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get mixed up because it's hard to hear.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Yeah. That you were dealing with that, but you think that you're not sure if the way that you're feeling is valid.
Right.
You have all these questions, but you don't.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's.
But that's so important.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes I think we minimize that, but that is everything.
Yes. Yes.
It is.
And normalizing those feelings, like of being touched out, being overwhelmed, trying to, you know, build this new relationship with your partner or even with your baby. It takes a long time to learn your baby.
Yes.
You think it's gonna be this immediate, like I know what I'm gonna do and I know how to feed a baby, put a baby to bed, but it's more than that. They're a human, just like you. I say that so much. I mean, your baby's a human. You guys are learning each other.
People too.
And it took me a long time to release that and be okay with that.
For sure.
Because, I mean, I don't know, control too. Like, you want to be like, I'm doing this right, I'm doing the right thing.
For sure. Control. The control is hard.
And I think sometimes it's like a question of like, well, what am I supposed to control then? Like, I feel like women are shamed for or called controlling when actually, you know, we're trying to be good mothers. So, but what does that mean then? And how can I reframe my experience or understand these expectations or, you know, and that changes. Like, that changes from generation to generation. So, like, moms need moms who are on the journey with them, you know, who are in the same season with them. I mean, we need all different, you know, ages of women around us. But I think it's really important, like, when you're on that journey to have moms who are there, like, kind of like in the trenches with you. And I actually like what you said too, Emily, that like sometimes it's an enjoyable, you know, blissful, incredibly amazing experience, and that's valid too. So a mom has to feel safe to say like, you know, I'm going through a really awesome time right now, but thanks for sharing what you're going through. I'm glad that you shared that with me. You know, I really feel like I value this connection that we have and that you're able to, like, that's so important because we're building, you know, we're building our community by doing that instead of parenting in isolation.
And who doesn't want to hear the stories about the moms that are having the amazing times at home? I mean, if you're in the moment where things are hard, hearing another mom that's, you know, conquering the hard and that can help you and give you advice is uplifting and makes me feel so much better.
That's awesome
to hear. So,
and like you said, you know, like how you feel after a wine night.
Exactly.
It's
you go home and you're like,
and it's not all complaints, you know. A lot of it is like, oh my gosh, this hilarious thing happened to me, or I got this promotion. You know, we celebrate those things and you know, kind of laugh through the hard and you know, cry together through the hard. And, but it changes everything to have people to share with.
I love that you guys brought your kids with you. I mean, that the door is open, that they're free to kind of come and go, because again, like you have to do life together. You have to be where you are together in that moment. And this is, I know, I love that they're here.
I wish somebody would have told me that more at the beginning, to just like accept it as it is and be okay with it. 'Cause it's not easy, but it's also beautiful.
Right.